Now who wanna move close enough? Now who wanna move out of? If you got stripes and you let the city know you rock 'em, yeah we got 'em, yeah we fought 'em. Like that black and orange up on 'em, single bottle, never stopping. To the beast of feasting on 'em. Who they rockin' with the diamond stripes, flossing on the ring. Cincinnati, she's our queen. We gon' show the world who king. Orange in the day, black in the night. Stripes in our veins, sparks gonna fly. The beast is awake, orange, black and white. Cause when the jungle come alive, who they we ignite in the...
Welcome to Bengals and Brews. I'm Dale Altman, joined by my co-host. They're here this time, unlike yesterday when it was just me starting the show. BSG.
I came on after I showered.
I know. I was just saying. I was on here by myself. It was very awkward.
Well, who am I?
I don't know.
The show starts. Who am I?
I don't know.
Fucking James Rapine, man.
Is that what he does?
Like when the show comes on and they do the introduction at Locked On Bengals and comes up and James Rapine's like this. Dancing and shit.
I don't watch. Does that make me a bad person?
No.
Yes, it does.
I think it makes you a great person, Dale. I think you're fucking beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. And probably so does the Brew Crew.
Yeah.
Because they're watching. Because you're hot, motherfucker.
That makes sense. 100%.
Yeah, true.
So, we did recap the game some yesterday. We'll do some more today. The Bengals won 21-14.
Oh, okay. No, we're not on to Philly. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, we're not on to Philly.
Not on to Philly.
We might talk a little Philly, but
we might.
So the score was 21-14. These are the ones I wrote down today looking back. My prediction, 24-17. Damn it, it was a 7-point game. Not too far off. A lot of people weren't too far off, to be fair. I feel like as a crew, as the Brew Crew, we all did pretty well. Mm-hmm. Chop, 21-17.
Hey. They missed a field goal too, didn't they?
Yes.
It would have been 21-17. You know what that would have been? Blowjobs for everybody, because fucking I would have won $4,500 and I would have bought them all for everybody. Lot one.
But the game would have been even closer and more stressful. So
how the fuck is winning $4,500 stressful?
Well, not to you, but I'm saying while I was watching, I wouldn't have been thinking that score.
I was thinking that last drive they might drive down there in
yes,
field goal range and just put up a field goal just for shits and gigs. They didn't do it.
Yeah, you don't try to do that if you're down 7.
I know, but it's the Browns, and I thought, man, they're fucking idiots. I mean, look at the contract they gave Deshaun Watson. You know what I'm saying? They're not right now.
You were like, get the onside kick here, Browns, and kick a field goal.
Yes,
and then go for another onside kick, but we'll recover that one.
Yes, that would have been great.
And Matt Walker was 28-21, so he had a 7-point score prediction also. Tyler 17-13, not too far off. Tina 28-17, not too far off. Paul had a lot of faith. And he said 34-17. Now, I wish it would have been closer to that because we should have beat them by a couple scores. Austin was 27-14, and that piece of shit, Greg Luther, is 24-23 Bengals. He had no faith. Greg had no faith.
Yeah, well.
He had the least faith of everyone.
You
Mr.
might not know this, Dale. Like, you live 2 hours away, but I hang out with him here in the city a little bit more because we live closer. He's pretty much a Facebook fan.
Right. Very pessimistic.
He's really on the internet. He looks like a great fan, but when you talk to him in person, a little different.
I guess I'm a piece of shit, right?
Piece of shit.
Yep. You hate the Bengals. You only predicted them to win by 1.
It sounds better. Just call you POS. P-O-S. POS Greg.
But hooday to everybody in the Brew Crew. Good to see you all in here, as usual. We will take that win all day long. We kind of did some game balls. Derek wasn't on here to give any. And Chop, I don't think we asked you for game balls either.
Yeah, we did.
Did we? I can't. I was drinking.
Jesus Christ, it went to God.
Oh.
Remember?
Well,
were you that drunk when I come on here?
Yeah, I was pretty drunk.
Remember when I showed everybody my asshole?
No, but I might have to watch that back.
It was a good after show. But, yeah, my game ball went to Jesus Christ for reaching down there and fucking snapping that Achilles.
Oh yeah, I do remember that now.
It's been, it's like 24 hours. But I want to feel bad for feeling good about watching that. Oh, I came home this morning for work and they kept replaying that Achilles snapping. And why did it give me joy? Am I a bad person?
He's done a lot of bad things. I just whatever, man. I don't want that karma. That's what I say. I just whatever. I just say nothing about it.
I'm just like, to be honest, I guess I kind of don't like the injury. I mean, it is what it is, and it gives me a little joy watching that Achilles snap. I'm not going to lie. I mean, the guy, I got to tell you, like, people might not agree, but I am not a proponent of rape. But I wish that he would have just got booed the fuck out. Although I also hope that some of those tears are because everybody's chanting, "You deserve it."
I don't know if they were actually chanting that. I seen that clip. Were they?
Yeah, man.
I thought people were cheering, but the "You deserve it" I thought was an added-in thing later on, like from a wrestling event.
Oh no, I don't know. Maybe you think it was like they just dubbed it in.
Yeah,
I want.
It's the internet, man.
We need Cleveland fans. Hurry up, get on here. Send out this wire to Cleveland, Greg, and let them know to get on here. Somebody that was at the game. If anybody was at the game, let us know. Was that a real thing when Deshaun Watson got hurt?
Well, I better get to this super chat before we get to Derek's game balls. Dustin Croft here. We need to have an Evan conversation today. Not only has he missed the last 2 years, he's missed bad. He might actually stink. He is very, very low. You know, two other guys, surprising because I went and looked at that today. Justin Tucker, who has been considered like the best kicker for a long time, is down there basically with the same field goal percentage as Evan. They're like tied for like 29th or something crazy, in the entire NFL. And there's been more than 32 kickers, but not very many more. And then also our old buddy who we drafted that plays for the Eagles, Jake Elliott, is actually below both of those guys in field goal percentage by a point or two. So, yeah, it's kind of wild to think those three guys who've kind of been like top kind of kickers in the NFL, the past 2 or 3 years. But Evan had some struggles last year, and now this year, I mean, that 50-yarder seals the game too, and to not make it and not put it away, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with him, but it is. You don't feel great when he's coming on the field.
No.
Like I didn't feel great at all.
No.
Obviously, when we ran the ball and tried to kick that one against the Ravens, I did not like that one.
Somebody gave the money part of Money Mac back. Got the change. He got his change.
I know. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch. I tried to today, but work and everything. It seemed like
Priorities are fucked up.
We are a pro Clark Harris podcast. I'll start off by saying that. But
Clark
it seemed
Harris.
like there was a couple snaps that long snaps that they were not where they were supposed to be.
No, I noticed that too. Like even some of the ones the kicks we made on extra points and different things didn't look super clean and super smooth on the snaps.
Yeah, that's what I was noticing.
And that throws off the timing, right? So it's a little hard to blame just McPherson, but at the same point in time, some of these he is just missing. And he'll say he's got to make them, right? So.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
If the holder gets the hold down, which hasn't always happened either, but when that happens, you expect the kick to be made, even if it's a little bit of a bad snap. I mean, as long as you don't see him have to like stop and reset and everything else, something weird, but
I mean,
he's got to make them.
Going into this season, I figured that he was going to make every one of them that he went on the field to make. But this season, you're right. He's missed some extra points also. It's not just like long field goals.
All we can hope is he just snaps out of it.
But
yeah, and Stranger said he watched it back and he thought it was, the snap was offline, and a lot of the issues this year have been the snapper and the holder. I do think it's a combination. It always is. But go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I mean, people, Kevin Huber, him and Clark Harris had that thing going for years. You got two new guys now, Cal Alamitis and Uncle Rico. It just takes time to learn. I mean, I think you could argue we really took Clark Harris and Huber for granted because they've just done it together for so many years. We just never had a good kicker that would kick it or anything.
They've done it together?
Yeah, yes, they have.
What if we ask Kevin Huber for vet minimum to come back just to hold the ball? Do we have that in salary space? Can we sacrifice one guy after 53 just for get Kevin?
I mean,
Huber?
I think Brad Robbins is still out there if they like the way he held the ball.
There you go. Then you got a backup.
Hey, Brad can hold it.
I
I
agree,
say we
Tina.
bring Clark Harris back.
Yeah, what's Clark doing?
Right? Well, he's
It's
not
been a couple
returning-
years.
Tell you what
Hey,
he's
get him
doing.
back
He's not
on here.
returning calls, is he?
No, he's not coming on this show. He's not
He's
doing
retired.
that.
He's retired for real.
Yeah. So, Derek,
What?
you were trying to say something. Let Derek.
Game balls. I don't know who you guys gave them to, but I wanted to give my game ball to probably one of our best in coverage this week, and that is going to Miles Murphy.
Well,
This guy, did you see him doing the locked him up thing? I freaking love that. This guy, he was all over the field, man. He played
every
his ass
time Derek picks a guy for like a game ball or to shout out, you can go to PFF and see they're the lowest graded guy on the defense that week. Every fucking
No, he
time,
wasn't.
Derek.
No, he
Miles
wasn't.
Murphy, lowest graded guy on defense this week.
Wow.
Yeah,
Overall,
that is
though-
at least 2 weeks in a row.
It is. Overall, though, it was a lot of pretty good grades on here. His is a 49.3 overall. That's not great. 56.6 run defense, 71.9 tackling. His pass rush is only 48.7. So that pass rush, we really need it to come along. And then coverage is 58.1. But, man, it's really that one play, and I get it, Derek. That one play in coverage, dropping back and
Right.
knocking the ball out before it gets to Njoku for the touchdown. It was a great play. So, good job, Miles Murphy, on that play. But, yeah, it's just
And I will say, had Nick Chubb just not done freaking superhuman things, he would have had that freaking sack on Deshaun Watson. I don't know what the hell happened there, but that was just a great play by Nick Chubb.
yeah.
He kind of threw Deshaun out of the way.
So for the defense, I gave my game ball, I think, to Jermaine Pratt because I didn't want to go with Hendrickson. It was going to be too obvious with 2 sacks, and he was a terror. It ended up, I see 9 pressures. I know he had 5 quarterback hits. Just an absolute animal on the field. And he had one of his best run defense grades. So per PFF, Trey Hendrickson was our highest rated defender with an overall 85.5 for the game, which is incredible. Pass rush 81.2. We know he's a menace there, but his run defense grade was a 66.1. So good job, Trey Henderson, because that's a lot of progress for him. And it showed up, right? I thought that too. I was like, his run defense has seemed a little better the last couple of weeks. And yesterday it was noticeable.
Well, that's why I've always prevented him from being like up there with Garrett then, because he was only good at the pass rushing, but he's quietly been getting better with the run. So, I mean, hey, Trey Hendrickson.
And I want my edge rusher to be a menace rushing the passer more than anything. So I've always been like, I don't care. He's an elite defensive end because if you can get after that quarterback, and where would we be without him doing it? He has 7 sacks through 7 weeks.
Right.
Our next highest guy is, I think, Hubbard with 2.
Who's got the most in the NFL? Wasn't Trey tied?
It's Dexter Lawrence. He now has 9.
Wow.
Dexter Lawrence had another 2 this week. I think 1 against us last week.
Trey's
and he had 6 coming into the game.
Trey's at 7 right now.
Yeah. And like Aiden Hutchinson, who's out for the season, 7.5. And Will McDonald, I think, has maybe 7.5 or 8, who is second. So
that's crazy for Dexter Lawrence, though, right?
Yeah,
Because
defensive
he's a
tackle,
fucking
9 sacks
tech.
already. Yeah.
He's not even an end. He's a tackle. So that's fucking crazy.
He's actually kind of more like build-wise a nose tackle one, I think.
Yeah, he's big
they
as
move him
fuck.
around. Yeah, and he has 9 sacks. The dude is an incredible player. So big Dexter Lawrence fan. Sexy Dexy.
Sexy Dexy. Yeah.
Great
Hey,
nickname.
maybe
as
we
well.
could do a trade for him.
But Derek, don't feel bad. I gave my game ball to Jermaine Pratt. He is right above Miles Murphy at the bottom here on the defense with a 50.2, 45.8 run defense grade, 83.2 tackling. And that's what showed up to me. 13 tackles, 10 solo, and it seemed like he was just stuffing dudes, man. If he got his hands on them, they weren't getting away from him. And he was making some great plays.
Yeah, we used to call Jermaine Pratt's hands vice grips because once you got a hold of, or he got a hold of somebody, there was no getting off. Like, I was trying not to make that sound sexual.
Yeah, you did.
Everything
I
you
did.
said sounds sexual, Derek, because your voice is sexy as fuck.
It could be that too.
That's why you don't put the face
But
on
for
too,
offense-
because people can't handle shit like that. It's too early in the week.
You're going to say Cody Ford for offense, aren't you? Because he was our bottom-ranked offense.
Yeah, there you go.
Did he?
No.
Yeah, he his
Oh.
PFF grade was in the single digits.
Well, it was 21.7 for.
Oh, never mind. It was in the double digits.
Yeah, for pass blocking, which is not good at all.
No.
But continue, Derek.
No, I was going to say, I'm sure, Dale, you probably hyped up your guy, Marius Mims,
Yeah.
who was absolutely elite. I'm just guessing here. Is that who your
Gr-
game ball
gr-
was to?
One of them. I did T. Higgins first,
Okay.
though, because he's just
Oh,
a
okay.
stud.
But I'm going to give my game ball to Chase Brown, man. It just looks like he's just becoming this RB1 that we wanted him to be. And it seems like week after week after week, he's just getting more and more involved. And if it wasn't for that one Cordell Bolson, I'm going to call it what it was, pancake that was called a hold, I think his PFF grade would have been much better.
And I think they might have stuck to the run game a little more if they would have hit that big one early and it not been called back. It seems like, especially we talked about that in the first half, they only had 5 carries between Chase Brown and Zach Moss, so they didn't really give him a ton of opportunities. He ended with 15 carries, and most of that was in those last 2 or 3 drives trying to kind of run the clock out. Only 44 yards, but, I mean, he's just explosive, and he's always looked so close to breaking one. And he's definitely kind of came ahead as running back 1. He did lead in snaps. I believe that's 2 weeks in a row now, snaps for the running backs. He was able to get 58% of the workload, so it keeps going up. I think that's the most he's had all year. Almost 60% of the snaps. He had 32 overall. Zach Moss had 27. They used both of them quite a bit as well. So Zach Moss didn't have a ton less than him and 49% overall. But still the main running back especially. And Zach Moss does a great job as a pass catcher, as a blocker. And I think you love having a guy like that on your team. We said how much we miss P. Ryan. Just look at Zach Moss like a P. Ryan replacement a bit.
Yep.
Yes.
And then it looks a lot better, right? You don't – if you're looking at him like a Joe Mixon replacement, yeah, you're going to feel like he's letting you down some. But if you look at him like a to me, almost a little bit better P. Ryan – because he can give you a little bit more even in the pass game. I know P. Ryan's hit some big plays, but they're both dogs as blockers. They're just 2 pretty good, solid, second running backs.
No, that's a very fair comparison right there to Pete Ryan because he gets the first down when you need it near the end. And like you said, 3 catches, 33 yards. That was my game ball because he made some crucial plays when we needed him at the best time ever. So that is a good comparison right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Myles Garrett does play hard for those guys.
If we all want to agree on this one, I think we will. But if we gave a game ball for the man play of the game, I got to go with Jamar Chase getting stuffed at the line of scrimmage and then carrying 4 guys on his back for like 8 yards. That one catch that he made was insane.
Yeah, it's like he's not going anywhere, and it's just like, man, he was fired up. He was fired up a lot in that first half. They almost, it just seemed like he wasn't always open or we couldn't always get him the ball, but when it was coming his way, he was making plays.
Also, he was our best rusher. He had one rushing play for 11 yards. So
11 yards per carry.
His average per carry, man, he was the best rusher on the field over Moss and Brown.
And I did give a game ball, like you mentioned, to Marius Mims, but I'll go ahead and read off his PFF grades, which I said I didn't really give a fuck, and I still stand by that because he did well for being a rookie playing that defensive line. I don't care. His overall grade is only a 54. Pass blocking 52.5, run blocking 52 points. I almost don't even care about our run blocking because we don't do it enough. A lot of times we pass the ball so much. But the 52.5 for pass blocking, I thought was better. It just seemed like he played better, and he didn't give up any big plays, and I thought he did his job. So, we will definitely take it. And as I think her name might be Taryn, if I'm getting that wrong on Twitter, she put, it was Brandon Thornton who was like, well, he didn't do anything special on this play when he kind of washed Myles Garrett down the line. And she said, dude, Myles Garrett was dribbling between his legs and taking jump shots while we were against our offensive linemen last year. Just let us have this. Let us enjoy this. That we've got to, we weren't letting Myles Garrett go off. And, Mims was a part of that. I know Cody Ford. I felt like they gave Cody Ford a lot of help on that side. I kind of want to watch the all 22 of this game, so I might do that. I don't always watch the games back, but I kind of want to see the all 22 because if we do have to, Orlando Brown is questionable for anybody who didn't see that. He questionable early in the week. Zach, it's kind of the day-to-day, which sometimes means week-to-week with Zach. So you got to take it with a grain of salt, anything that Zach really says. Week to week usually means they're probably going on IR by the next week.
You know what I said earlier? Zach Taylor speaks in hieroglyphics when it comes to player injury report. We need goddamn Indiana Jones over here to decipher this bullshit.
But I mentioned this on Twitter. I'd go get a Cam Fleming. He is on Denver's practice squad. He's 32. He's played both right and left tackle. His pass blocking grade last year was a 71. And the 2 years prior, his overall grade was in the 70s.
Damn.
Last year's overall grade was in the 50s. But to me, 50 is better than 42.8 overall grade, which was Cody Ford, and a 21.7 pass blocking grade. Not as good as a 71 pass block grade. Just a thought.
Well, let me just say this, though. Did you tell them?
They
You
don't
got the
listen to me.
goddamn phone. Tell them.
Hello.
Joe.
We need to make a phone call to
Yeah.
Cam Fleming. He's on the practice
Fleming.
squad, which means if he's getting practice squad money, he will sign with your team for vet minimum.
Boom.
You brought Lawrence Guy in here for a couple weeks and at least was able to hold things down. Not that he tore it up, but man, he gave us competent play, more competent
Sure
than Zach
did.
Carter. Can we do the same here
Yes.
with Cam Fleming instead of Cody Ford? Thank you, Duke, you little bitch.
Thank you, Duke. All right.
They call him a little bitch at the end. So
Done.
you might not like that.
Done.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I'm waiting for Twitter. It's going to blow up any minute. No.
And as Ryan says, they did say they're rolling with Cody at left tackle and Mims at right, which I've seen people saying, maybe we should put Mims at left and Cody back at right. Mims hasn't really played left tackle, in college he didn't do it. He hasn't done it, so far in the pros. He hasn't really practiced that to my knowledge, if at all, because he was dinged up a lot during training camp. And they're just trying to get this guy ready at right tackle. I think they thought we can slide over Trent Brown to left tackle, injured. Jackson Kirkland played some left tackle in the preseason, injured. Both guys out for the season. That's why I say, man, you kind of need to go get somebody because Andrew Stuber, the guy they signed off of the practice squad from the Falcons, he's also a guard/tackle. He's more of a guard. Cody Ford is a guard/tackle, more of a guard. You don't really have a true other tackle behind Orlando Brown and Amarius Mims. So to me, go get one, right? Why don't we go get one?
Might as well. And you, like you said, this guy Fleming can play all. Can he play like at least four
Left
of the
and right.
positions?
Well, yeah. I mean, he
Oh,
could probably slide into guard, but he's played mostly left and right tackle in the NFL.
Well, that would suck to have a decent quality pass
What's
blocking
Jackson Carman doing?
backup. At
He is on the Dolphins practice squad, but let's not make that phone call.
No.
Not making that one. Phone staying
No.
right here for that one.
No.
I'll give some other names. So another practice squad guy. So if you want somebody that's been at least practicing, which that's another positive for Cam Fleming, right? He's been on the practice squad. He's been out there practicing, getting some reps like that against other players. But you want a veteran? Jason Peters is on the Seattle Seahawks practice squad. The man is 42 years old. But he's still on a practice squad.
He's a young,
Still rolling.
Yeah,
young
so
man.
just saying, that's another name that he's been there, he's done it, he's been around the league, can maybe give you something serviceable, or let's say one of the tackles get injured. Don't you want to have another tackle? If Orlando Brown can't go this week, which maybe he does, and Lord, I hope he does, and he's the starter because we need him, and he's been playing really well. But Charles Leno, 33 years old, that's another name. Street free agent right now. Anyone want to guess his pass blocking grade last year?
Better than 21.
77.8.
It is
Pass
better.
blocking grade for the season last year, and he's been a guy who's played a lot of left tackle. And who's dinged up? Our left tackle. So Charles Leno, DJ Humphries, former first-round pick, longtime guy with Arizona. The question with him, it would be a simple phone call. Hey, DJ Humphries, I know you tore your ACL in December, but we just had a guy in DJ Ivy come back this week and play for us who tore his ACL around the same time. Have you been working out and training, and would you come in for a workout so we can see how you're doing? Because he is still only 30 years old. So, and been a good
That'd
left
be a
tackle
great
for a
one.
while. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Donovan Smith, he played for the Chiefs, and it's like, oh, maybe he wasn't so great. A couple years ago, he had like an 80-some grade for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I thought, man, this one might not be good. He's 31, but he's a veteran, been there, had some great seasons. His pass blocking grade, guess what? Also over 21. It was a 62.2.
That's crazy. There's guys
last
out
year.
there on practice squads that are better
And
than Cody
those
Ford.
guys are free agents. Now, Cam Fleming's on a practice squad, Jason Peters on a practice squad. Those guys, Charles Leno, DJ Humphries, and Donovan Smith are all free agents that you could bring in for a workout. So you don't have to sign them to your 53 like you would if somebody's on a practice squad. You can get them in and work them out and see what you think. I don't know. It makes sense to me.
That makes
Oh,
too much
yeah.
sense.
Hold in
Yeah,
place.
it's not like Cody Ford's still dating that Tay or whatever her name is. So there's no real reason to still have him on the roster.
I don't know
Crickets.
if that was a
Do the
reason
cricket
before.
sound. Do the
Oh.
crickets. Derek has a beard. It's just not a very good one. Ice.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Iceman said you need to grow a beard. Everyone has one but you on the show.
Derek can grow the beard about the same as the Iceman, just the little chin part.
But yeah, so
Oh, boner.
Orlando Brown was our highest graded offensive lineman for this week. Just kind of while we're talking about it, he had a pass blocking grade of 71.5, 64.4 overall. So he was playing well again before the injury. Ted Karras only had a 57.6 overall, but once again, this week, his pass block grade, which is very key for the offense we run, 82.8 for Ted Karras. Guy's blocking his ass off as a pass protector right now and playing really great.
Good job.
We mentioned Mims, 52.5. Kappa, lowest pass blocking grade not named Cody Ford, goes to Alex Kappa, 45.7. So he's been up and down.
It's still over double.
Yeah, still over double.
Still over double.
And Cordell Volson was actually lower than Kappa's overall. Kappa's overall was 47.8, and Volson was 44.1. But pass blocking, Volson's pass blocking was 62.2. So it was a lot better than Kappa's as far as the pass blocking, which to me, I put a little more emphasis on because the offense we run.
Volson's going to be getting his ass kicked now. If Orlando Brown's not back, Volson's going to be getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, because you already got Cody Ford over there, and Lord knows what's going on. And they're going to have a tight end over there almost at all times. I said maybe Drew Sample can just play left tackle.
Yeah, put Eric All over there. Put Eric All over there.
That's what I said. Man. I said Drew Sample or Eric All, but honestly, we still can use Eric All in the role he already does. And Drew Sample, come on, man. You could play left tackle.
Hey, what about Zach Moss at left tackle? He did a good job helping out.
Why not? Why not, right?
Why not?
Why not fucking anybody else? Why not Coach Duff? I mean, he could go out there and get a fucking 21.9.
Hey, Whitworth, if you feel like playing still, we'd love to have you.
Whitworth already went through that, and he's lost so much weight.
Yeah. You're right.
He's quit. He was like, I could not play right now.
Yeah, and I will say to Dustin's comment, guard is still one of my top 3 needs for this team in the draft. I'm taking one in the first 3 rounds because Kappa, if anything, you got him for one more year. Plus, Volson still, he's not consistent enough. So I'm definitely looking to draft a guard with some talent. And I liked what I see now in Jackson Kirkland, too. So I hope he sticks around next year and has a good preseason and stuff when he comes off this injury because I think he could still be at least decent depth. And then obviously, Ryan talks about Matt Lee here. Yeah, maybe Matt Lee gets to be center and Ted sticks around and starts playing some left guard instead of Olsen. So, and that could solve one spot, and then you draft your guy to be right guard of the future, and you got it solved a little bit for 2 or 3 years. That would be nice.
Matt Lee played 3 snaps, correct?
It said he did, and I'm guessing it's the extra O lineman, which is usually Cody Ford. But when they run the heavy packages, they had to put somebody out there. They only have so many active offensive linemen.
Right.
Stuber, I think, was inactive. I could be wrong on that, but who else was even active to use as an extra lineman when they wanted to put one out there? So I think that was probably his 3 snaps. I mean, they brought up Trey Hill, but would that have been any better? Probably not. So they used Matt Lee for a few snaps. I need to go back and watch it. It's not something that stood out to me until I seen today the snap count.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even know until I think
either way.
Maybe you said something in the chat or something like that about Matt Lee playing.
Yeah, wasn't me, but
it might not have been you. It might have been Greg.
Yeah. So that's kind of the offensive PFF numbers since we have those today and we went over a lot of stats and stuff.
Yeah.
We mentioned Trey had a good game. BJ Hill's second highest graded defender this week. So 71.5 overall, 59.1 run defense, tackling 67.3, pass rush 72.7. Getting that pass rush from the interior, and Sheldon Rankins got his first sack as a Bengal and got a game ball. Nice. So it's nice to get something from the interior when it comes to pass rush and pressures on the quarterback. It can't just be all Trey all the time. And Hubbard had another sack this week and an interception. So D-line play overall much better. Big rotation still going on. I think Sam had like under 55% of the snaps this week again. So they're keeping him between 50 and 60, and I like that number for him. So I think he's playing better with it.
Yeah. I definitely think the defense is doing better. And to tell you the truth, they even need to make a progression to even better coming up this week, I think.
You know how Derek was really high on Chris Jenkins last week, but he was like the lowest graded defender?
Yeah. How'd he do this week?
Fourth highest, basically third highest, because Joe Bocci got like 4 snaps, so I don't even really count him. Basically, third highest defender, 70.7 grade, 70.9 run defense. Let's go. That's
Hell
what you
yeah.
need from him. That's what he's known for.
Yes.
And then the pass rush wasn't awful with the 61.2. So Derek saw the flashes. He gave
There you
him
go.
like a game ball basically a week early. So Miles Murphy, your
Gonna
week
ball
is
out.
this week against the Eagles,
That's
baby. This is your week.
Hey, let me ask you this. Jenkins still playing with that club on his hand, right?
As far as I know, yeah, I haven't seen it removed.
You get a 78 for your not pass rushing, but your run
Yeah,
blocking.
70.9 for run defense.
Yeah, and you got one fucking hand. This dude's going to be a beast for us. I'm telling you, I felt it that he's going to be a beast.
Just call me Nostra Davis.
Fucking what's Steph want to trade over here? He wants to trade
Get Max Crosby. Everybody likes Max Crosby, but he's going to make too much money, and the Bengals would never do it and give up what they'd have to give up. But I would love to have him on the team with just wrecking havoc with Trey and putting them guys in waves, and then Hubbard still getting his 40 because his snaps would have to go down at that point.
On the scale of you got your penis cut off to full chub, where would you be if they did get Max Crosby?
I mean, I'd be full chubbed. It's Max Crosby.
Yes.
He's a top 5 to top 10.
God,
Top
man.
10 easily, but top 5 pass rusher in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, you put him and Trey.
Pretty easy.
Oh, come on, man. Fuckers be running for their lives.
Yeah.
I would. You know what? It would make me feel like, damn, these Bengals are doing everything they can. Despite starting the season the way they did, they're making a push. They're serious about the playoffs and serious about the Super Bowl this year.
All right, I got one for you here.
Go ahead.
Because I do want to get to Geno Stone and Von Bell next, but I'll do corners first. Who do you think was our highest graded corner this week per PFF?
Turner.
It's a round table, so Greg's guess is Turner.
I'm going to
Let me
say
just
Mike
go-
Hilton.
Derek says Mike Hilton.
I think that Cam Taylor-Britt would be the obvious choice, so I'll go with DJ Turner.
It is DJ Turner.
Boom!
So 2 of the 3 were correct. DJ Turner. Overall grade 68.9, run defense 66.9, tackling 79.7. I seen him literally run away from one tackle, so I don't know how his grade's that high on that, but hey, he must have done pretty well overall, at least what they saw. And the coverage is 68.1. He's playing well in coverage. He even had the pass interference, which is obviously going to ding his grade on here, and still had a 68.1, had another nice pass breakup. I really like DJ Turner. I was saying he deserved more snaps when Dax was playing. They should have found a way to get him out there more. But, hey, I hate that Dax is hurt because he was playing well, but I love that Juan Drago is getting his opportunities and playing pretty well. Right now he's playing like our number 1 outside corner.
Yep.
And Cam Taylor-Britt didn't have an awful game, but still got beat a few times. He was the lowest of the 3 with the 61.8. And coverage, to me, I look at the coverage a lot for these guys when it comes to corners. 60.2 for him and 62 for Mike. So none of them were awful. If you're in the 60s, that's not bad for a PFF grade. But, DJ being almost a 70, DJ had the best game, and he's put 2 weeks in a row. And we needed that, right, with Dax out because he was playing really well. So
DJ,
good job,
BJ's fucking balling out, man. I mean, it's a contract year for him, pretty sure, right? Isn't this his last year in contract?
Who, DJ or BJ?
Hill?
Oh, BJ Hill, yes. BJ Hill, yes. I was talking about DJ Turner still.
Oh, I thought you said also BJ Hill was balling out.
No.
There's
So
a lot
he
of
was.
J's
He was
up
our
there.
second highest graded
Okay,
guy, and he was
I just
dominant.
saying, yeah, since
2
he's
weeks in
come
a
back, he's been spectacular.
Yeah.
And he's going to want money too.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of guys are going to want money.
Who did they have matched up against the tight ends this game? Because that was miserable.
Yeah, I know that Njoku had 10 catches and the Akins had several catches. That's another one we'd have to watch back, Derek, I think, to know exactly. And I'm guessing it was multiple guys because, Ivy did get some snaps. The Dejon Anthony only got 1 snap, so it wasn't him, obviously. DJ Ivy got 4. Josh
How in the
Newton
world
got
can both of your
6.
safeties get hurt, and then who
Oh, don't know what Derek's saying, but I will say it could have been some of Akeem Davis Gaither. He had 18 total snaps. And in coverage, he had 12 snaps, so maybe a lot of those were against the tight end. That would make sense. And his grade was only a 52.2, so a little lower than all these guys in the 60s. It would make sense that he would be the one maybe that was matched up a lot with these tight ends who was getting a boatload of catches during that game.
Iceman's not wrong.
He does.
Yeah, Greg has no idea that WD-40 was ever invented.
Mm-mm. That chair needs it.
No, you say, Greg, WD-40, he's like, the fuck is that? What are you talking about?
But I'll finish this out. Von Bell is 67.3 overall, and even higher than that, Geno Stone is 68.4 overall. So, hey, safeties, you did pretty good. And Jordan Battle was right there with the 66.1. So all three safeties that had to play in that game, Battle ended up with 19 snaps, which isn't bad, but it's not like they gave him a huge workload more. But and a lot of that, he came in for Stone at the end when Stone got hurt. But Stone, it's not significant for anyone who hasn't seen. It sounds like he could even play this week. So he avoided serious injury.
Right?
Yeah, but I've been very hard on Stone and dogged on him a lot. So last week I said he played better. I will come on here and I will eat my crow and I will say that he played better again this week. Now you got a bigger challenge, even bigger challenge against the Eagles. So show me something here. I still kind of want to say you suck.
Well, let me recap what you just said. You said you've been hard on Stone and that you're coming on here.
Coming on here and
you said
eating. I'm coming on here and eating.
And you're hard on Stone. You're hard on Stone, and you're coming on here
to eat him out.
To eat him out. That's what I heard.
It's pretty much what I said.
Right.
But I mean, he's not been known as a run defender, right? And run sport. I know he had 7 tackles, but the PFF grade's a 75 run defense grade and a tackling grade of 84.3. It's like a whole different guy these last 2 weeks. So Geno Stone, you fucking suck, buddy.
Yeah.
You fucking suck. I'm going to keep saying you suck. I'm going to tweet him, and you guys can tag him because I still don't tag people, but I'm going to tweet him and say I'm going to find where he's still ranked because I bet he's still ranked pretty low in the safety rankings because he's starting from the bottom. But it's got to be coming up because he's had 2 good weeks. But not good enough, sir. And you got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith coming to town. So you suck. See, he is okay, so I don't feel bad now talking shit.
You're right. Yeah.
Hey,
and don't forget about Saquon.
Hey, you know what doesn't suck? Midwest Best Barbecue 50 West Beer, proud sponsor of the show, along with the Chop Shop. Go to Chop Shop Shop.
Oh yeah, look, it's Monday.
Get your good choice of shirts. Those never suck. Just so you know.
Monday.
Go ahead.
You don't want to be left without your Victory Monday shirt come 1 week from now.
No, you do not.
But the safety's just ability to tackle, and we're not seeing a ton of missed tackles and things like that guys are breaking. And that's going to have to continue, as Derek said, because we're playing Saquon Barkley, who almost put up 200 against his former team.
167 yards,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he put up 165 plus against his former team, the Giants. I'm sure he's fired up to show them what they're missing, that they didn't want to pay him what he's worth. But at the same point in time, the dude's just an animal. I think he's like second yards per game. He's averaging like 109 yards per game this season. So that's very impressive. He's obviously below one guy who's also a king named Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a challenge, right? Because there's just so many weapons, and then Jalen Hurts can hurt you with his legs. Dallas Goedert was out this week at tight end. I don't know if he'll be back, but he's a weapon. There's a game he had 10 catches this year, and we just saw if he is out there, we just saw Njoku get 10. So just saying, they got a ton of weapons. It's going to be a big challenge to see. Is our defense really, really made progress when they're not playing a Daniel Jones or a Deshaun Watson or a DTR who was able to run more, but he's not very accurate all the time. He's a little inconsistent.
This is going to be a way better test for us than these last 2 victories.
Absolutely.
3 of the last 4 quarterbacks that we've played have been backup-worthy quarterbacks. So let's see what happens when we have a real test this week.
And the only one we didn't put up 41 in Lamar Jackson of those 4. The only one that we wouldn't call backup worthy, right? Andy Dalton, Daniel Jones, and Deshaun Watson. They're playing at a backup level. Not that they're backups.
No.
Andy Dalton.
Actually, Daniel Jones did the backup.
He get benched?
Yep.
No. Oh, he did?
They benched Daniel
I
Jones.
I did see that they said they were going to roll with him next week, but I didn't see that he got benched during the game. But that makes sense. I mean, they were down. Well, they lost 28-3, so the offense obviously wasn't doing anything. And he didn't do much against us. He looked very, very bad against us.
Yeah, he was horrid. I wish he would have threw more balls.
Yeah.
What's up? So as far as defense goes, if you take Philly and compare it to Cleveland, what's that look like?
And we do a lot of over-unders, so yeah, we can talk about Philly a little more, because we are excited. It's a big game. We're trying to get our first home win. We're trying to get, back to 500 and feel like all our goals are still in sight. You're right back in the hunt if you can go out and win this game. But I did write down, and I don't think this had updated for this week, so this could change a little, just full disclaimer to everybody. But coming into this week, and they won 28-3, so obviously defense could be bumped up a little. They played the Giants, who probably didn't do shit on offense.
Right.
But their ranks defensively, they rank 20th overall, so they're not in the top 15 like we've played for the last couple weeks.
Yep.
Their run defense is 16th. Well, we don't typically run the ball that much anyways. Right. Their pass defense is ranked 21st.
Boom.
So
I love
we're probably going to throw the ball a lot.
Sounds good. Well, also, if Cody Ford's on the left, we might run a little bit more, and there's going to be a lot of screen passes.
But you got to hold up, right? You got to give Joe time, and that's going to be a little worrisome.
Hey, Dale, this is how far I'm off of the Eagles. Is Slay still playing?
Yep. They still have Darius Slay at corner, who's getting a little older, and they drafted Quinyon Mitchell, who he fell in their laps. They got lucky being able to get him because
I like him a lot.
Yeah, he was like my top corner, and then Cooper DeJean they were able to get in the second round, who I thought was first round worthy guy. He's their slot corner. So they're fairly young, and then they got C.J. Gardner-Johnson back at safety and Reed Blankenship, the white boy at safety, who always making plays in Madden when me and Santori played Madden.
Who's that corner they drafted out of Georgia? Remember they thought it's going to be like a first round pick, and he dropped like in the 4th round last year. Dean, I think his last name was.
You just said Cooper DeJean.
No, Dean's Nakobe Dean's a linebacker. Yeah.
Oh,
and he's playing really well. I think he has a couple sacks. He's a beast, man. Their pass rushers are really good. They got a ton of guys with, a sack or 2 sacks or 3 sacks. So just to name off some of their players here of who they have on the defense. Milton Williams, who I liked coming out. Jordan Davis, big sumbitch out of Georgia. Jalen Carter fell in their laps at 10th overall a couple years ago that I thought was a top 5 talent. That has some off-field stuff and some driving fast shit, but the NFL don't seem to care about that too much. Brandon Graham's kind of been an ageless wonder there and still playing really well. Behind him is Bryce Huff, who they got from the Jets for like $50 or $60 million. He's not even the starter. Brandon Graham's starting over him.
Jeez.
Zach Bond, who's a really good pass rusher. Nakobe Dean, Josh Sweat. So every one of those guys that I just mentioned right there can get after the quarterback. That's a lot of guys.
And can I just say one thing, because there was one play in particular that's just racking my brain right now, and that's Joe Burrow had 3 seconds to let this ball fly. I think Goodberry might have even mentioned it on Twitter. And he held the ball, ended up taking the sack. And I think what Zach might be doing is he might be doing some longer developing plays. And when you've got a pass rush like we played last week and like we could potentially play this week, you cannot do that. We need more quick game, more screens, more slants, get these guys open quick to help Burrow out and to minimize that pass rush.
Yeah, Derek, I hear what you're saying. And we've been doing a lot better on screens. Usually every time we see a screen pass, I'm like, oh, boy, this is going to be a nightmare right here. It's like 3-yard loss. But they've been getting a lot better with screen passes quietly, I've noticed.
Yeah, they're going to have to definitely have 12 personnel, Charles. And they're going to have to – Eric All and Drew Sample are going to have to give a lot of help blocking to Cody Ford, in my opinion.
I agree.
And Paul asked if we talked about the Bengals clock-burning decisions with 8:45 left in the fourth quarter. You were up 15, and I kind of – it's tough, right? Because hindsight, it is a 2-score game, and they did get it to where they could have tied that game up with an onside kick. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I wasn't as mad about this one even as running the ball 3 straight times against the Ravens and settling for a 50-some-yard field goal because we had a 15-point lead. They needed literally everything to go right to get the win. But you almost do like Greg. We always talk about this Zombieland thing, double tap and finish it. And but it is tough, right? Because if you're throwing the ball in that situation and you've got a Myles Garrett, what if he comes up and gets a sack fumble and they run it back? And then you've just not even burnt any clock off, and now they're even closer to coming back. I know you can't play scared, and I get that. But at the same point in time, you got to play a little smart. I don't know. Paul, that one's really tough for me, but I'll get everybody else's opinion on what you guys would have done there.
No, I didn't complain at all or anything. Like I said, I get where Paul says coming from, but man, like you said, man, that's just way too risky. You make one wrong move. Say if they threw a pass to somebody 8 minutes left, they get an interception right back in this game with the touchdown. Zach Moss, I was telling you, I give him a game ball. You told me he averaged 20 yards a carry, but that first down he got, we had 2 guys tackling. He made that final effort. Every little first down is like 3 minutes off the clock right there. I wouldn't have changed. The only thing I would have changed was I wish our defense played a little bit more aggressive on that final drive against when Winston came in.
Yeah, they did kind of play almost like a prevent. And prevent, teams usually drive right down the field on you.
Yes.
But
yeah, I don't know.
Other than that, I was fine with it.
Yeah, I was, we're up far enough. I was okay with it. I knew that was what was going to happen. I wish that they would have just busted out a couple runs to extend the time. But, when they ran the ball 3 times here against Baltimore, I was not happy with it. But running the ball yesterday is fine because you're up to score. That's the idea. It's the end of the game. Run out the clock.
Yep.
And you know what? It would have been a moot point if the one thing that I've been freaking harping on this team I feel like it's been the past 2 years, and that's points off freaking turnovers, man. That frustrates the hell out of me because we've had several opportunities where we could have absolutely blew this game wide open, and we just didn't attack it.
No, we did not.
Well, and we mentioned earlier McPherson, right? That also would have sealed the game, and we wouldn't be worried about it either. It's a 50-yarder. We used to think a 50-yarder for Evan McPherson was automatic.
Yeah. That's why we call him Money Mac.
Yep.
It ain't because he missed field goals. It's because he was making all them money shots.
And that's just to ice the game there. I don't know, man. And the snap, everything I get, and I need to, watch that again. I did think there was some bad snaps, but it looked like on that one he had a shot to make that and just pulled it. He's pulled quite a few. Don't all talk at once.
I know. I'm sorry. Sarah keeps texting me.
I will talk about I mentioned their defense and what they're ranked. They're a top 10 offense, so they're 10th overall. They're 6th with the run game, which with Saquon, he's a freaking animal. But our run defense looked good the last few weeks, but it's going to have to be phenomenal again. And then they're 14th against the pass, so it's not like they're terrible against the. They've got Devontae Smith. They've had guys dinged up too. They've had A.J. Brown out some games. They've had Devontae Smith out, and they're still a top 15 passing the ball. Dallas Goedert missed this week. They've got weapons all over that team. So that's a top 10 offense in the NFL easily. So our defense has their hands full this week.
Yeah, absolutely. No, Dale, like you said, but they're going to get put to the test. I say we do the same thing we did against Cleveland last week. You got to start out. Normally I'm for kicking off. Remember, I think we were all glad we received immediately. And, boy, Charlie Jones answered with our prayers. Do you think we should do the same scheme again, just get a quick lead?
Well, they deferred. And it almost worked out for them in the sense they almost tied it up. They missed the extra point. Yeah. They almost tied it up before half and got the ball back. That could have gave them all. I like getting the ball after the half.
Yeah, but no, I get what you're saying.
But obviously, would I take back that we returned the kick for a touchdown? Fuck no. That was great.
Hell no.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, I just wanted to start out and get that lead. But the Eagles, they're a high-scoring team. Because people were like, a friend of mine, a coworker was telling me today, well, Chubb didn't get used in the second half. I'm like, well, they couldn't use him because you can't use the running game when you're down by 14 most of the time. Right. You got to have a speed-heavy offense right there.
Let me wasn't that only the second kick return this year
Third, I
Is that
think.
third
For a touchdown.
I
And it
only
was the
remember
longest one, 101 yards, I think is
Yeah.
what they called it.
Yeah,
that was
and the
our
way he
first one
tiptoed that
since 2020.
sideline, man.
Well, he almost fumbled, too. That was a little worrisome. I was like, that'd be our luck. We make this huge play. He fumbles. The ball goes, like, out of the end zone, and it's Cleveland ball.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
that would
fuck
have
me.
fucking sucked.
Well, we've had some bad starts like that. We'll drive all the way down the field and then have thrown a pick, like a pick six even against Cleveland.
Yeah,
But it feels good that we got the win overall
Yes.
because first win in Cleveland since 2017. I know they're struggling, but that defense is healthy it's been all season. The offense, too, with Njoku back. And, yes, they traded Amari Cooper, but Chubb back. All those guys were playing, and their offensive line relatively healthy, minus Batonio or Teller, one of those guys. One of those guards is on IR for the season. But Michael Dunn is the guy that's a backup, and he's played a lot for them because they've had injuries other years. So they were pretty healthy, and we went in to Cleveland, a team that's given us trouble in Cleveland, regardless of the record. You throw it out, it's the Battle of Ohio, and we got the win. And
We did.
overall, I'm very fucking happy about that.
Hell yeah.
yeah,
Win is
no
a win.
shit. Hey, I don't give a fuck if every single win is an ugly win as long as it's a win.
Thank you.
At
Just
this
win.
point.
Thank you, Tina. By the way, happy birthday yesterday, Tina. I'm sure you got the
yeah.
birthday. I'm sure your birthday was good yesterday with that win also.
Yeah, at some point, to keep offenses off the field on these other teams with explosive offenses like the Eagles, we've got to run the ball better. We have to run the ball a little, more even. Like, I know we're like, hey, we're a passing team, but we've got to be able to control the clock a little because in that first half, our longest drive was like 2 minutes and 46 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, you can't keep your defense
Well-
on the field nonstop. And the Browns were getting a lot of 3-and-outs and things too, but they also were getting some first downs, which Deshaun hadn't done through the air at all, and all of a sudden he could do it in the first half.
I'm pretty
It's
sure their time of
frustrating.
possession was the Browns had us by like more than 10 minutes, right? Wasn't it
I-
like 34
I
to
I don't have that.
I saw it somewhere, and I'm pretty sure it was like 34 to 25, somewhere 25 point something, 34 point something.
Well, and
So,
it'll really affect things too because I mean the first drive of the game we didn't get to touch the ball on offense, so that'll change things, those numbers too.
I don't have that. Go ahead, Derek. Go
I
ahead.
was just going to say it's really frustrating when you've got a 4th and inches and you have to pass the ball because your run game's just not getting what you need to get. You know, that right there tells me that they just don't trust their run game at all.
Yeah. I don't have time of possession, but I do have total yards.
Yeah.
And we were outgained 336 to 223. Now, I don't like that. I don't love that.
That's
I know
true.
some of it was garbage time at the end, but only 223 yards for our offense. That part stands out to me because it's 2 weeks in a row, and we're going to need them this week because I don't care if our defense looks improved, and they are improved, and we got more D-line. That's an explosive offense that's going to move the ball on us and put up some points. We've got to be able to do the same.
We need
Yep.
the offense that we had for the 2 games against who was it, Carolina and New York, where we were. I mean, the offense was just on
Now,
fire.
Baltimore, I mean, we put up
Oh yeah,
38.
Baltimore, and the Commanders.
Washington, we scored.
Yeah,
we
that's
just
the
couldn't get
offense
stops.
we need. We
But,
don't.
we need the
this,
defense to show up.
the defense has got to be there too. But then
Show up
if,
at the
Hey.
same time.
if the defense comes back that we've had the last 2 weeks, and then we get the offense that we had the previous 4 weeks, dude, we're gonna be fucking golden.
Yep.
Take out
All
take out the Patriots game, and then in the offense, except for the last 2 games.
Yep.
You know, what I was just thinking about, Dale. One thing we talked about that we always worried about with DJ Turner was his arm length, right? Well, guess
Mhm.
who he's going to be matched up against this week?
AJ
The
Brown.
5'6".
Oh.
Oh, no, God, no. I hope not. The 5'6", 5'7". What?
Why
however
not? He's
tall he is.
our best graded cornerback last game.
Who you talking about?
That's
Britt
just
and Covey?
nightmare, though.
You
Brett,
think?
no. What is Oh shit.
They have
forget
AJ
his
Brown,
name now.
Devontae Smith, and Jahan Dotson.
Smith.
Derek's
Devontae
like, guess who
Smith.
he's going up against? Because I don't know
Devontae
the
Smith
guy's
weighs
name.
like 160 pounds, but he's like 6'1".
Oh, I thought he was short.
No.
Oh, never mind then.
What the fuck you talking about?
Scratch that thought. Scratch that thought. I thought he was shorter than that.
Their backups though, like they have Paris Campbell, who speedster, went to the Ohio State, which I can't even say that very proudly after the Oregon loss. Johnny Wilson, who's like 6'6", I thought should move to tight end. He's another backup. I'd hate for him to be matched up with him in the red zone too.
Yeah.
Kid out of Florida State, that's a rookie.
Damn, I just want to say real quick, someone in the brew crew, sorry to interrupt, but sorry about your loss, Paul. That's terrible.
Yeah.
So he's in the chat talking to other people about how he lost his Chihuahua this morning, man. Losing a pet is horrible. So
Sorry, brother.
Very sorry that you're going through that, Paul.
Sorry, buddy.
Damn.
Yeah, but they've got more than Saquon at running back, too. Kenneth Gainwell had a good week this week. He's their backup. And then Will Shipley's their third guy. I liked him coming out of Clips. He hasn't done much yet, but still, you got to worry about if they need something to get going in the passing game. He's very good catching passes out of the backfield, and he's explosive, fast dude. So, yeah. And also, we got the Brown twins that could potentially go up against each other. Sidney Brown's not listed as a starter, but I'm sure he plays. I'd have to go look at his snaps. I'm sure he plays. Second-round pick last year for those guys. So you might have some brown-on-brown crime, and I did not mean for that to sound a little racist, but that's their last name.
I was thinking like turds. Brown on brown. I wasn't even.
What the hell are you into?
I don't know, man. I was thinking about poop.
You have like the battle shits?
I don't know. No, I haven't been upstairs yet, except for when the goddamn disposal was leaking.
So Dustin asked what we're seeing from Yoshi and Mike on tape. Are they just not getting open? I mean, I do know that there is some stuff out there about separation and how much guys are getting open. And Yoshi is one of the top guys in the league for how much he's open or how much separation he gets per play. And so at least based on that, you would think. But I haven't seen him getting a ton of separation from the eye test. And then Gesicki just doesn't seem to be a huge part of this offense now. I think his snaps have been down to like 35%. He's not really being targeted. I don't know. I think they need to get him back involved. But I think his is more opportunity. And Yoshi hasn't had a ton of opportunities. He had that one, and I thought Denzel Ward made a great play on the ball. But other than that, I don't even hardly remember him getting targeted.
No,
yesterday.
He only had I had that down here. I did print out some stuff here, and if you go to that's the fucking here receiving Andre Yosi. What the fuck? That's defensive. Maybe I was wrong.
Well, that was enlightening.
I know. I'll find it. Hold on. Becky sample. Oh, Yosivash. 0 receptions, 0 yards, 1 target.
Yeah, had the one target and
one
Ward
target,
broke it up.
0 yards.
That's the one Ward broke up. So, I mean, not a ton of targets.
Yeah, sorry I didn't have that Yoshi stat ready. I do, actually. I love pooping.
And Charles, Jalen Hurts is not very accurate. He's just inconsistent. Some games he looks great as a passer. In other games, he just
I'm worried
seems
about the
completely
fucking. I'm worried about Barkley more than anybody on that
No,
team.
I'm worried about Hurts. You give him time and he gets out of the pocket. That's what I'm worried about also.
Well,
yeah,
he's
an
a good runner,
extending play.
too.
And they're going to take some deep shots with Smith and Brown.
Oh, absolutely.
How much are we all going to hate fucking 4th and 1?
Oh,
God damn. Pushing everywhere.
Tush push,
Cocksucker.
but they also got Barkley, so sometimes they can just give it to him, and he's
I
a beast
know,
getting short
but
yardage.
still, they're still fucking utilizing that stupid ass tush push, which isn't really stupid ass except for the fact we don't do it, and I hate it.
Yep.
Yeah, AJ Brown has only played in 3 games, so for their, like I mentioned earlier, for their passing offense to be top 15 with him only playing in 3 of their games so far, that says a lot out of the 6. He's averaging 108 yards per game when he does play, and his average yards per catch right now, to go back to my point about the deep ball, is 20.3 yards per catch. So they're throwing downfield to A.J. Brown, and he's damn good at getting the ball on those downfield passes. Whether Jalen Hurts is completely accurate or not, he's one of those guys. He's a dog. He's like a T. Higgins, you want to throw it up and come down with it. So, stud. Yeah. And Devontae Smith is super fast. So they've got a challenge. I bet Devontae Smith and DJ Turner will probably be matched up a lot with each other. Just for the speed.
That guy's 5'6", right?
So Cam's going to have to really fucking show up. That's key matchup. We'll preview for Friday. Key matchup, Cam Taylor-Britt and A.J. Brown.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know what's up with Cam. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not having the best year. So, but hopefully he gets it together.
Question for you, Derek, from Dustin. Are you still seeing Burrow not wanting to drive the ball down the field and having happy feet?
Yes. I'm not Derek, though.
Yes, I am. I mean, long story short, yes, but short story long, it seems like he's not having the clean pocket to step into, like he's normally used to. And if he doesn't have that
he doesn't have. He's used to a clean pocket.
No, like on the interior, like he's used to getting blown up around him, but I feel like Volson and Karras and those guys are kind of getting pushed back a little more than they have been in previous years. I'm talking about the guards up front, not necessarily the tackles, but maybe it's just him not wanting to step into it. I don't know, but it just seems like he's just not.
Well, he's going to leave us on that because he cut out.
Cliffhanger, if there's a cliffhanger.
Yeah, right.
I will say, like, for me, I think he just looks to scramble, and it is the happy feet, and too often these last couple weeks, and our offense isn't playing as well, and I think that's a big part of it. He just looks to scramble, and extend these plays, and he's used to doing. He's used to having to do that more. Yeah. I think he almost has more protection than he thinks. Now he won't this week with Cody Ford, so maybe he was just preparing for an injury. If Cody Ford had to play, he wanted to, have his mobility really locked in. So,
do you think any of it though has to do with the injury? Like,
yeah.
I mean, the dude has had
a ton of injuries.
Yeah, so I think that's what the happy feet are about. Like, he doesn't want to get fucking hurt. But I do agree that I think that sometimes it seems like he had a little bit more time to throw the ball before he started running. I mean, he would have got hit, though. But still.
You and Crip having a conversation in the chat?
Well, I did because he was asking me because me and Brunswick at work, we'll send pictures of each other shitting.
That is awkward.
Videos. And there's a lot of sound involved. Brunswick definitely needs to go see a GI doctor.
So he's like grunting and stuff?
No, it's like loose. We call it loose stool.
Oh.
Yeah, it's every time it sounds like you're pouring fucking chunky soup in the toilet.
It's like he just ate like a bunch of fried chicken or something.
I don't know what the fuck
just
it
is. Pure
this
grease,
man hasn't taken a solid shit since 1982.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and, Brunswick.
I got video evidence. A lot of it. A lot of video evidence. And then he also has a lot on me. But I feel like the Miralax helps me out with the sound effects. You know what I mean? But I have to push at the beginning to get.
We need some kind of like poop sponsorship. Dude wipes something because we talk about
a tens for like adult diapers.
Yeah, we need all those sponsors, honestly, because we talk about shit a lot.
You got to wipe your ass up after you shit. You have to wipe. So Charmin. Yeah.
They still have a pretty good line, the Eagles, to look ahead a little bit. Lane Johnson is healthy and playing this year. Greg, I know we weren't sure about that, but he's not got any designation here. Right tackle. That's all pro right tackle. Old buddy that we kind of wanted to sign and maybe as guard depth for me to compete with Volson, and that would have been on the left side, is actually playing right guard for them. That's Mekhi Becton. Remember, we was like, sign all the big guys.
Yep.
So Mekhi Becton is their starter at right guard. And I think he's playing decent, but I didn't dive into their PFF grades or anything. Cam Jurgens at center is replacing Kelsey, which is impossible to replace him because that guy's probably a Hall of Famer.
Easily.
Oh, yeah. But Jurgens is a pretty good center as far as I know. Landon Dickerson at left guard, they just gave a huge contract extension to, one of the best guards in the game. So they've got him. Like I mentioned, Mailata, who's on IR for at least the next 4 weeks. They just put him on there. He is out. So old friend Fred Johnson that used to be here. And there's some clips of him just mauling dudes, though. So good for him. But he is going to have to go up against Trey Hendrickson. So he's better bring his A game the entire game because Trey Hendrickson's on a tear. So that's another key matchup that I'll probably talk about again on Friday. Fred Johnson, Trey Hendrickson.
Right.
That's a good line. That's a good overall line. Very good.
I'm glad Kelsey retired, though. Good for him. Good for that guy.
Okay, that's interesting. So Ryan says he thinks Becton had a concussion yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got a Q beside him on this depth chart that I printed out. So who knows if he'll play? If the concussion happened yesterday, or if it happened during the game, there's a chance he doesn't play. But we saw, I think Marvin Harrison is going to play tonight, and he just had a concussion last week. But that is an extra day rest,
Right.
you know, having a Monday game. So because a lot of these guys, if they have a concussion in game, they've been missing the next week, league wide. It seems like the majority. Where if you're Malik Neighbors, you miss like a month. You're just at concerts all the time.
Well, yeah, you just go to concerts.
You went to LSU and you're soft
like.
as baby shit coming from out of LSU.
Well, you don't have to be as hard at LSU because all the elite recruiting around you.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
It's a team sport, Dale.
Oh, so you just expect the next guy up to go out and dominate
this ain't the
like
Big
you.
Ten down there. It's not the Big Ten. You wouldn't know.
Well, Jeff said he's back. What did he miss? You missed Chop talking about poop, and then there's a guy that has a loose stool, and him and Guy send videos back and forth that he works with of them pooping.
Pooping videos.
That's what you missed, pretty much. And we talked to Eagles. We talked to
You'll have to listen later to the podcast, which you can find on many platforms, including ones I don't fucking know. Derek would have been great right here, but I'm pretty
the
sure
audio and stuff, Spotify, all those places, your iPhone, Apple.
Yeah.
Podcast, but yeah, also youtube.com/
That's where we prefer, to be honest. Not that we limit you to that, but go to YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification button, because like yesterday we did a spontaneous show after the game. We came on here and celebrated with everybody. So
yeah, and people like Jeff messaged me at like 7:30 and they say, hey, did you ever send me a link? I'm like, Jackie, I sent you a link like fucking before you responded. I said, here's a link in case you're able to hop on. I know you were at that event, which he wasn't home anyway, so probably wouldn't have been able to hear him. But
I saw him
nonetheless,
he was in one of the shots with Cap down there.
Mm-hmm.
And Kieran was there too.
Yeah, Darth was there too, but he hides from cameras. Darth does not like cameras.
No, he does not. That's why we love you, Darth. That's
why we made him do the Donatos. And then Donato's never played that video when Darth was on it. It must have been really bad. No offense, Darth. You must have done awful, though.
Jeff was drinking. What the fuck?
Jeff was drinking. Uh-oh.
Drinking?
I mean, I also had some rums.
Is this Jeff Trenopole that we're talking to? Because that guy don't like beer.
No.
Yeah. And Crip's right. Basically, we've been talking about the Browns. It was just the poop version.
Yeah.
Browns.
Right. Well, both of them should be flushed down. Why? Because they're brown.
Well, I probably won't be at the tailgating, Tina, until probably around 10 o'clock is usually when Derek and I show up. But I believe the lots open at 9.
Yes, it opens at 9.
9.
Right.
So the lots open at 9. Me and Derek usually get there around 10.
I have to park in my spot and walk over there, so it takes me, a few minutes. So I'm there about 9:15.
There you go.
30.
We'll be having Midwest Best Barbecue cater us for Bengals Brews also, son.
Although I'm very disappointed that apparently we're not having Grippo wings, and they're my favorite.
Hey, Dale.
They're not going to give us any Grippos?
No, Dale. You just calm down, buddy.
All right, I got some Grippos coming. Those are the best ones. I'm sorry. I know they're all very good, but for me, a pretty plain person, the Grippos, they work for me.
No, Dale.
What else will we have, Greg? What are we having?
Same thing as last time. Oh, yeah, here. I'll read the list off. Luckily, I have it saved here and all that. Give me 1 second, if you would. Patience is a virtue, as always.
I don't have none. Hurry the fuck up, Greg. What are we waiting on?
Okay. Give me 1 second here. Oh, boy. Oh, here we go. Sauce pulled pork, Dillinator wings, G-Funk wings, mac and cheese, and Uno pork rinds.
It's a good spread. It's a good spread right there. Oh, Chop.
What's up?
A little role play in the bedroom?
It's for later, after the precinct.
You should start wearing that to games.
That is cool, man.
Well, I plan on it for this one. It's Halloween.
I mean, it literally lets your mouth move with it, too.
Chop, you're the new Jeff Dunham.
My mouth.
That is so great.
This is the new Jeff Dunham right here, everybody.
Remember when I had one of those masks? I had one. You guys remember that? It was so bad. Like, oh, man. I don't know, man. That's some China shit that did not work out, man. It came in and it was bad. Now that one's cool.
Yeah, I'm going to be the new mascot.
Yeah, see if you can get on the field.
Look, you can eat cheese conies. You can eat cheese conies. You can eat that Midwest Best barbecue when you're wearing this mask.
It's very interesting.
You put it in the mouth hole. Look. Ooh, them sharp teeth.
What else can we stick in your mouth with that mask on?
I don't know. Bring it.
Well, I don't like those teeth, I'm going to say. Teeth scare me.
Don't worry. I won't use the teeth.
I don't know. Pretty big teeth. It's quite the look.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's about a good way to end it. You got Tiger Chop.
Right.
Looking sexy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit
Marshall
hard
says
to read.
classic.
It's a little hard to read without glasses.
Mon's coming in at a great time. Don't know what the hell is going on. A guy wearing
Hey, what's up, Mon?
What's up, Mom? What's up, bro?
We actually have Houday from the Cincinnati Bengals here with us, Mon.
Right, that's what I do. I travel around.
It's been pork chop the whole time in real life.
I wouldn't
Out there
tell anybody.
doing backflips and stuff. It's definitely a pork chop.
I'm always doing backflips and shit.
But yeah, feels good to be 3-4. But man, big test, which we'll talk about more on Friday's show at 3:30. We will dive deeper into the Eagles-Bengals matchup. But man, we'll see where our defense is at, and our offense has got to get back on track. And that's a very athletic, good defense that can bring multiple guys on that defensive line nonstop. And they got some good young talent in the secondary and some damn good linebackers that bring the heat too. So yeah. I definitely think this will tell us a lot about where we're at. We should have had that win against Baltimore, and then I feel a hell of a lot better going into this game.
Shit.
But you got a chance to put this one away. You need to put this one away. You need to get back to 500. Like, these are all things you need to do, and show who the fuck you are, right? Make teams fear you again, because I don't think anybody was fearing the defense, and a lot of teams still going for it on fourth down. So we need to go out and make a statement against the Eagles on both sides of the ball this week.
Right. Seriously, mop up the goddamn floor with them. Play like we did against Baltimore. Just win. With the defense, too.
Yeah. You look like you're from Jacksonville with those front teeth. That's what Crip said.
Oh, well, it's a tiger head. It's not a leopard.
Well, he's just talking about the teeth.
Not a leopard, Crip.
He's talking about how you have like two teeth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, like Hamilton. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah. Let Chop lead him out the tunnel this week. That'd be. Why not?
I'll fucking run right out there. I'll high five everybody.
Will you run? I
mean, I'll walk a little bit fast.
Briskly. It'll be.
I'll have a brisk walk.
Yeah.
It'll be the most brisk walk I've had all year.
Boom. How could the Bengals say no to that? Honestly.
How the fuck you say no to this?
Yeah, and so after we did the show yesterday, I seen Jamar, a little of his post-game interview and stuff, and he's putting the tie on, he's got the suit jacket that he never got quite on during the interview part I watched, but that man dressed for the Browns 2024 season funeral. Yes. He said that on Twitter. Like, that man was like, you're buried, you're done this year. He hates Cleveland, and that makes me happy that he hates them.
Yeah. Jeff
will pay money to see you run.
Like around the circle of his house?
Yeah. Where's those videos? Hey, love you too, Wade. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we will be back on Friday. You guys are freaking awesome, and Die Hard is definitely a Christmas movie. Hooray!
Right.